At first glance, it looks like a normal Washington quarter, until you notice the mistake. Some Washington quarter dollar error coins have become the kind of finds collectors never stop searching for. Tiny errors can turn an ordinary-looking quarter into something much more interesting. And because most people never check closely, rare ones still slip through circulation every day. Like and subscribe for more hidden coin discoveries. Back in 1987, quarters were one of the most heavily used coins in the United States. They were essential for vending machines, laundromats, arcade games, parking meters, and countless daily purchases. Millions of people handled them every single day without paying attention to the small details. But hidden among those ordinary quarters were a few rare mint error coins that would later become highly valuable collector discoveries. The first coin in this video is the 1987 D Washington Quarter error coin, a piece that can reach values between $35,350 and $118,400 depending on the type of minting mistake and the coin's condition. The Washington Quarter had already been part of American currency for more than 50 years by 1987. First introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington, the quarter quickly became one of the most recognizable coins in the country. Washington's portrait appears on the obverse of the coin along with the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1987. The small D mint mark beside the date identifies the coin as being struck at the Denver Mint. The reverse design features a powerful eagle with outstretched wings perched above arrows and olive branches. Around the design appear the inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and Quarter Dollar. The coin was produced by the United States Mint using high-speed industrial equipment capable of striking enormous numbers of coins every hour. Even though the minting system was highly advanced, the production process involved tremendous pressure and non-stop operation. Under those conditions, occasional mistakes became unavoidable. A standard 1987 D Washington quarter weighs 5.67 grams and measures 24.26 millimeters in diameter. It is made with a copper core covered by outer layers of cupronickel. Collectors carefully check weight because unusual weight may indicate a rare minting error such as a wrong planchet strike. Some valuable coins were discovered simply because someone noticed the coin felt slightly lighter, heavier, or different in appearance. The minting process begins with blank metal discs called planchets. These blanks move automatically into large presses where steel dies strike the designs into the metal under massive pressure. The strike itself happens almost instantly. But if something goes wrong during that exact moment, an error coin may be created. One of the most dramatic errors found on the 1987 D quarter is the off-center strike. This occurs when the planchet is not positioned correctly during striking. Part of the design ends up missing while a blank curved section appears on the coin. Collectors especially value examples where the date remains visible while the strike is strongly off-center. Another important variety is the doubled die error. This mistake actually occurs during die preparation before the coin is struck. When this happens, portions of the lettering or design appear doubled on the finished coin. Collectors inspect the date, lettering, and eagle details under magnification searching for separation or shadow-like doubling. Some examples show clear doubling that becomes much easier to recognize with proper lighting and magnification. Die cracks are another fascinating mint error collected by numismatists. Over time, the steel dies used for striking begin developing stress fractures from constant pressure. When metal flows into those cracks during production, raised lines appear on the finished coin. Some die cracks are tiny and subtle, while others stretch dramatically across the design and become major collector attractions. Another well-known minting issue is the grease strike, also called a filled die error. This happens when grease, dirt, or metal debris blocks portions of the die. As a result, some design elements appear weak, blurry, or completely missing. On certain 1987 D quarters, collectors have found faded lettering or partially missing details caused by this type of error. Among the rarest varieties are wrong planchet strikes. This happens when a quarter is accidentally struck on a blank intended for another denomination. The finished coin may display unusual color, weight, thickness, or size. Because several production mistakes must happen simultaneously, these errors are extremely scarce and highly valuable. Clipped planchet errors are also popular among collectors. Before striking, planchets are punched from large sheets of metal. If the cutting process overlaps improperly, part of the blank may already be missing before the strike occurs. The finished quarter then shows a curved missing section along its edge. Condition plays a massive role in determining value. Most 1987 D quarters circulated heavily and quickly developed scratches, dull surfaces, and edge wear. However, coins preserved in near-perfect condition with strong original mint luster and sharp details are much more desirable, especially when combined with rare mint errors. Professional grading services help authenticate coins and confirm whether the mint error is genuine. Experts examine the coin carefully under magnification, identify the type of error, and assign a numerical grade based on condition. Certified coins usually attract stronger collector demand because buyers trust professional verification. Over the years, certain 1987 D Washington Quarter error coins have sold for impressive amounts. Depending on rarity, eye appeal, and condition, values have reached between $35,350 and $118,400. To many people, it sounds unbelievable that a quarter once used for vending machines or arcade games could become worth that much money. But collectors are not simply paying for 25 cents of spending power. They are paying for rarity, historical interest, and the uniqueness of a mistake that escaped the mint's quality control system. That possibility is exactly what makes coin collecting so exciting. Some valuable error quarters may still remain hidden inside old jars, drawers, inherited collections, or unopened bankrolls waiting to be discovered. That is why experienced collectors inspect every unusual coin carefully. Tiny details such as doubled lettering, raised lines, clipped edges, weak designs, or unusual weight can completely change a quarter's value. A magnifying glass and digital scale are often enough to begin searching seriously. Collectors also strongly warn against cleaning coins. Cleaning damages the original surface and can dramatically reduce collector value. The 1987 D Washington Quarter proves that even ordinary circulating coins can become extraordinary collectibles when minting mistakes occur. A quarter once spent on snacks, laundry, or parking decades ago may now represent a rare error coin worth thousands of dollars. So the next time you come across old quarters in a drawer or coin jar, take a closer look. Because one ordinary-looking 1987 D Washington Quarter could secretly be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. In 2022, a new generation of American quarters entered circulation, and millions of people immediately noticed that something looked different. For the first time in many years, the designs honored influential women who helped shape American history. While most of these quarters quickly became everyday pocket change, a few rare error coins began attracting serious attention from collectors. The second coin in this video is the 2022 Maya Angelou Quarter error coin, a modern collectible that can reach values between $22,120 and $90,200 depending on the type of minting error and the coin's condition. This quarter was part of the American Women Quarters program created by the United States Mint. The program celebrates women whose achievements influenced American culture, history, science, literature, and civil rights. The 2022 quarter specifically honors Maya Angelou, one of the most respected literary voices in American history. She was known for her poetry, autobiographies, and powerful work during the civil rights movement. Angelou inspired millions through her writing and public speaking, becoming an important symbol of resilience, creativity, and social progress. The obverse of the coin still features the portrait of George Washington, although the design was updated from earlier versions used on traditional Washington quarters. The reverse shows Maya Angelou with raised arms while a bird and rising sun appear behind her, imagery inspired by themes found in her poetry and autobiographical works. The quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the small P mint mark. Because the release attracted enormous public interest, millions of these quarters were produced quickly to satisfy circulation demand. And whenever coins are manufactured at extremely high speed, minting mistakes can occasionally occur. A standard 2022 Maya Angelou Quarter weighs 5.67 grams and measures 24.26 millimeters in diameter. Like most modern quarters, it contains a copper core layered between outer coatings of cupronickel. Collectors often begin examining coins by checking weight and appearance because even small differences may indicate a rare minting error. Some of the most valuable discoveries in coin collecting started when someone noticed that a coin looked unusual or felt different from others. The minting process begins with planchets, blank metal discs prepared for striking. These blanks move through industrial presses where powerful steel dies imprint the coin's designs under massive pressure. The strike itself happens in a fraction of a second. But if something goes wrong during that moment, a valuable error coin may be created. One of the most dramatic errors found on the 2022 Maya Angelou Quarter is the off-center strike. This occurs when the planchet is not properly aligned during the strike. Part of the design becomes missing while a blank curved section appears along the edge of the coin. Collectors especially value examples where the date and mint mark remain visible while the strike is heavily off-center. Another highly collected variety is the doubled die error. This problem actually occurs during the creation of the die itself before the coin is struck. As a result, some lettering or design details appear doubled on the finished coin. Collectors carefully inspect inscriptions, facial features, and design elements searching for signs of separation or shadow like doubling. Under magnification, the effect becomes easier to identify. Die cracks are another fascinating mint error. Over time, the steel dies used in production begin developing stress fractures caused by repeated heavy strikes. When metal flows into those cracks during minting, raised lines appear on the coin's surface. Some die cracks remain small and subtle, while others stretch dramatically across major portions of the design. Collectors often enjoy studying these cracks because every stage of die deterioration creates slightly different appearances. Another important mint error is the grease strike, also called a filled die error. This happens when grease, debris, or metal particles partially block portions of the die. As a result, parts of the design may appear weak, blurry, or completely missing. On some Maya Angelou quarters, collectors have discovered faded lettering or incomplete artwork caused by this type of minting issue. Among the rarest possibilities are wrong planchet errors. This happens when a quarter is accidentally struck on a blank intended for another denomination. The result may produce unusual weight, color, thickness, or size. Because multiple production failures must happen simultaneously, these errors are extremely rare and highly desirable. Clipped planchet errors are also collectible. Before striking, blanks are punched from large sheets of metal. If the punching process overlaps incorrectly, part of the blank may already be missing before the coin enters the press. The finished quarter then displays a curved missing section along its edge. Condition plays a major role in determining value. Most 2022 quarters entered circulation quickly and developed scratches, marks, and dull surfaces from daily use. However, examples preserved in near-perfect condition with original mint luster and sharp details are far more desirable to collectors, especially when combined with rare mint errors. Professional grading services help authenticate coins and confirm whether an error occurred during the minting process. Experts inspect the coin under magnification, identify the error type, and assign a numerical grade based on condition. Certified coins often sell for much higher prices because buyers trust professional verification. Over the years, certain 2022 Maya Angelou Quarter errors have sold for impressive amounts. Depending on rarity, eye appeal, and condition, values have reached between $22,120 and $90,200. To many people, it seems unbelievable that such a modern quarter could already be worth thousands of dollars. But collectors are not paying for 25 cents of spending power. They are paying for rarity, historical significance, and the uniqueness of a production mistake that escaped quality control. That possibility is what keeps modern coin collecting exciting. Some valuable error quarters may still be hidden in circulation today, sitting unnoticed in coin jars, cash registers, vending machines, or bankrolls. That is why experienced collectors examine every unusual-looking coin carefully. Tiny clues such as doubled lettering, raised lines, weak details, clipped edges, or abnormal weight can completely transform a coin's value. A magnifying glass and digital scale are often enough to begin searching seriously. Collectors also strongly advise against cleaning coins because cleaning damages original surfaces and can greatly reduce collector value. The 2022 Maya Angelou Quarter proves that even the newest coins in circulation can become extraordinary collectibles when minting mistakes occur. A quarter received as ordinary change today could eventually become a rare treasure worth thousands of dollars. So the next time you receive modern quarters in your pocket change, take a closer look. Because one ordinary-looking Maya Angelou quarter could secretly be a valuable mint error waiting to be discovered.